The story begins from a world where there lived a special kind of people called Ajin. Actually, Ajin were some immortal people who could endure any kind of attack. They could even revive themselves with the help of their powers. To gather more information about these powers, the government established the Ajin Committee. After this, we see a man named Kenagai who was walking on the road, but suddenly his car hit a car. But despite this, his body recovered again, which meant that he was also an agent. But before this incident, Kenagai was living a normal life. But as soon as the news of his being an agent spread, the agent committee brought him along. Where instead of protecting him, they started different operations on Kenagai. Kenagai was the third agent caught by the government, which meant that the government had already experimented on 2 agents before him. The head of the Ajin committee, Utozaki, was supposed to give the government the most information about these Ajin. And that's why he asked the doctors to cut the hands and feet of a Kenagai, so that those people could see them being right again. But the Kenagai was still not understanding what was happening to him. There, a government officer was taking information from Tozaki about these experiments. At that time, 2 insurgents named Tanaka and Sato attacked the lab. And as soon as they entered, they started killing all the guards, after which Sato told Tozaki through the camera that he and Tanaka had come to save the Kenagai. He also told how he had saved Tanaka in the same way a few years ago. After hearing this, Tozaki immediately told all the guards to use special injections to stop Tanaka and Sato, but as soon as the injection was applied to Sato's hand, he threw his hand away and raised his hand again, which meant that he was also an agent. In fact, Tanaka and Sato were the 2 agents who were caught before Kenagai. After a while, Sato reached Kenagai, killing all the guards. After freeing him, Sato said to him, holding a gun in his hand, to shoot all the remaining doctors. But Kenagai refused to do so, after which Sato shot a doctor himself, but Kenagai did not like it. And then he started shooting at Sato, and then he ran away with the doctors. But after a while Sato found him and killed the remaining doctors. After which he was moving towards Kenagai, because he had supported humans despite being an agent. Then Sato took out a ghost from inside him, which was proof of his being an agent, and then Kenagai called his ghost, after which the ghosts started fighting each other. And Kenagai tried to escape from there, taking advantage of this. And when Sato moved forward to catch him, Kenagai attacked him with his ghost. After a while, when Sato and Tanaka were back to life, they decided to talk to all the news people. For this, Tanaka took the form of a patient, which led Sato directly to the news channel people, where he told about the atrocities committed by the Ajin committee in front of everyone. He also told how he had saved Tanaka from the doctor, and to prove his words, he told about a website which had videos of Tanaka's experiments. After finishing his words, Sato demanded the rights of the Ajins and said that we can't live together, we should have a separate country for us. After Sato's disclosure, this news spread quickly throughout the country, and now everyone was talking about it. The next morning, Kenagai reached a village where he met an old woman who looked like his grandson. And that's why he invited Kenagai to his house. Kenagai's sister, Eriko, who was admitted in the hospital, found out about her brother on TV news. And after a while, Tozaki's assistant Izumi went to her to inquire about Kenagai. But Eriko had no information about her brother, but then Tanaka's ghost attacked Izumi, who he was sitting outside the hospital. But Izumi was also a ghost, and she immediately called her ghost to face Tanaka. After which the fight between the 2 began. As soon as he found out about Izumi's secret, Tanaka killed him and came straight to the hospital to abduct Eriko. But by then, a lot of people had gathered around them. Seeing them, Tanaka quietly left. Tosaki was in front of the media trying to prove his innocence. He said that all the allegations that Sato had made were baseless and completely false. Kenagai was still living in that poor woman's house. Now he often helps that woman in her work. But one day he heard about his sister on the radio. As soon as he heard this, he went to meet his sister. Kenagai knew that Tanaka and Sato could attack Eriko again. And that's why he brought his sister to that woman's house. Slowly, Kenagai started working hard to make himself strong. And now he was learning to control the ghost inside him. There, Sato released a video in which he threatened the government to accept all my demands as soon as possible. And if he didn't do that, he threatened to destroy the health ministry. Along with this, he told the date of this attack and told all agents to join him. On the day of the attack, the health minister was sitting without fear. And according to him, what will anyone do to him when the police are standing outside? But then a plane came straight and collided with the health ministry building. Actually, this plane was flying Sato, and because of an accident, he revived himself. There were many accidents outside to support Sato. But as soon as he came out of the building, the police started shooting blind, but then the tension on the other floor started shooting at the police so that Sato could get time to heal himself, and as soon as Sato regained consciousness, he killed all the police with the help of his own forces, after which he made another video in which he gave orders to empty the city of Tokyo to Tozaki and the government within 2 days, and if he didn't do that, he said that he would spread poison gas all over the city. Then you all take fun when the villagers got news of Kenagai's arrival. Kenagai and Eriko had to run away from the woman's house in a hurry. Meanwhile, Tozaki talked to Sato and told him to give him another city instead of Tokyo, for which Sato clearly refused. He said that the city should be the city that is more powerful. After his statement, when Tozaki left the office, he was seen standing in the crowd on Kenagai, who was ready to help the government in fighting Sato. But he had a condition for this work: that the government will not keep any shortcomings in the security of his sister Eriko. After defeating Sato, Kenagai asked for a new human identity for himself, so that he could live peacefully with his sister. Tozaki had no other option than to listen to Kenagai. After this, Tozaki started making plans to defeat Sato and his friends with the government. In fact, Tanaka was imprisoned in the research lab for 4 years. And there, Sato hated humans for the experiments he had done for 20 years. And now the purpose of both of them was to save only agents from humans. After 2 days, Sato and his men were ready to attack the government. And according to the plan, first of all, one of them hacked their system in the government office. There, Tanaka had imprisoned everyone in the building. After which they started to move towards the roof of the building to release the toxic gas. But then Tozaki found the hacker and put his gun on him. And here Tanaka had reached the gas room with some of his friends. But then suddenly a black thing surrounded him from all sides. Actually, this thing was made by Ken Nagai with the help of his ghost. And taking advantage of this, the police attacked Tanaka and his friends with special injections. There Sato was present at a wooden shop. But then he entered the building the next second. In fact, Tanaka cut Sato's hand and brought the bag with him, with the help of which Sato revived himself in that room. But his move had surprised Kenagai and the police, because none of them had thought of this. And as soon as the police tried to attack him, Sato killed the police with the help of his ghost, after which he woke up Tanaka and they both went to take the gas. As soon as they got the gas, Sato ran towards the roof. He had called Kenagai there. After a while, Kenagai reached there to stop him. As they watched, a dangerous fight began between them. On the other side, the two ghosts were fighting each other. Tozaki had found Tanaka, but Tanaka attacked him with the help of his ghost. But Izumi reached there to save him. After that, the fight between the two began, in which the ghosts in both of them were equally involved. And in the midst of this fight, Tozaki found the right opportunity and attacked Tanaka with a special injection. After that, he fainted there. There was still a fight going on between Kenagai and Sato, but this time, Kenagai's new form was very impressive to Sato. And then Kenagai very cleverly injected the injection on Sato's feet. But in the meantime, his hand was cut off. Despite being unconscious, the ghost inside him was still alive. and he immediately killed him to bring Sato back to life. Seeing this, Kenagai was very disappointed because he had no more fighting power, but as Sato moved forward to attack him, many police officers reached there and frozen them with liquid nitrogen gas, because of which they both froze there. After this, the police officers destroyed the small pieces of their ice dolls and cleaned them up, so that they could not revive themselves. But after a while, Kenagai revived himself with the help of his hand cut in the fight. After which he broke the glass and ran straight out. If you liked the video, then like it and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.